Hey there, Kenneth French of Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. We're very, very happy you stopped by. Either you're going to watch this or listen to this because you want to take your business to the next level. You're probably an entrepreneur who's either just starting out or you've been around for quite a while and you want to take your business to the next level. You're probably a real estate investor, maybe even a real estate agent, maybe a professional or of some sort, professional advisor of some sort. And well, you are stopping by because you need some valuable advice from one of the top industry leaders there is. Anyway, thank you very much. Once again, Kenneth French, Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. Really glad you stopped by.
Who is AI extraordinaire, man, is going to be helping to chat about, well, really two things. A little bit of AI, but more than anything, our VASTCAST software, which is going to be really employing a little bit of AI that very few people are employing in their webinar software. That's the old term, by the way. We call it the VASTCAST software. Now, it's totally unique. Think of it as really a funnel that happens to be using AI that also happens to, well, be automated. It makes it nice for you as a business owner because hopefully it'll make it so you don't have to be playing around with webinars. You don't have to play around with onboarding. Everything's automated for you. Now, you could utilize the software or you can utilize Ben or any of our people who can help you at vastsolutionsgroup.com. Now, this isn't going to be solely a commercial about vastsolutionsgroup.com or our software, but really what it's also going to be about is kind of teaching you to think about ways to utilize technology in your business as an entrepreneur. Most of the people in our database, most of our contact people in our community are entrepreneurs who are really trying to, well, at the end of the day, get by. Well, when you say get by, do really well in getting by. But at the same time, what I mean is, well, they all have the same normal struggles that a lot of business owners have. And that's, well, really, especially being a solopreneur, really trying to, do their daily duties at work, then go home, et cetera, et cetera. We're trying to automate things, make it a little bit easier for you as an entrepreneur. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Ben, and he's going to go over some software that's going to help you make your life easier as a solopreneur, as an entrepreneur, whatever the case is. Ben, hey, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much for the invitation again, Kenna. Yeah, it's a pleasure being here again. And hello, everybody turning in. So let me introduce you to VASTCAST. So this would be the sign-in page. I just filled it out with like Kenna's information at this point. And so the unique thing about it is that, like Kenna was saying already, you can host your own webinars on this software. So as you see already, there's like some webinars that have been created as for demonstration purposes. So let's just create another one. So and now you have different options available. So either you will host a live webinar. So that means you have to be in person, be there in front of the camera, talk live with your audience, and then chat with them, like everything happening live. Or you do like an automated version where basically you put in pre-recorded material and then you have it automated, so people can join the webinar and then everything they would see would not be a live recording, basically. So let's start a webinar that would not be live. So you can put in the information here. Let's call it like introduction call, maybe. And then for the title, yeah, just you can put in the same name in there. So yeah, so one would be for yourself, like how you call it, like for your own reference, and then the other one is how you present it to other people watching the webinar. So you have like you see like some here the description about it. So here for the internal use, and then here for what it's being, shown to the public. Then you can set the duration of your webinar, how long people will have something to see. Let's say in this case it's going to be 1 hour and 30 minutes. And then you can decide on whether people have to log in with a password or whether they can just join like without any password and can join the webinar. And you can customize this, of course, like you can put in your brand logo in there, your brand image. You can even at this point, it's going to be hosted on the vastsolutionsgroup.com domain. But what you could do, of course, is like host it under your own domain or put in something, in there yourself. Then here for the schedule, you have, the opportunity for an instant watch session, just in time session. You can, just kind of trigger one with the date when you want to host the webinar, essentially, like when it's going to be live. Let's click on next. So here you can customize it a little further. For the registration page, for example, let's go on preview. So what you would see is, so this is just an example, but that you could customize, of course, but you could basically create this sort of landing page that your audience would already know, like what is it going to be about, like you're talking about, and see an image of whatever it is that you want to display. And you can put in like all the other information in there, what it is that you are going to talk about exactly, and then people could just register on there. Same thing for the thank you page. So if someone has registered for the webinar, they see this as again as an example which you could customize, and then they would see like how long it takes until the webinar is going to be live. And and a link also to the session itself, to the webinar session. Okay, cool. Let's continue. So here for the watch room, which is pretty interesting. So this you can again customize, which is, I think we could say, is the beauty and it's also one of the uniqueness about our software, the VASTCAST, is that you can basically customize everything to your business. So same with the watch room, you can customize this again, and also for the replay page, it's the same thing. So you see, you can do this and to kind of define it on your own terms. Okay, let's click on next.
By the way, that watch room, let's go over that, Ben, because I think that's, as you basically annotated, that's a very important component of the software. Because as an example, let's say, people are going to ask a bunch of questions, and you could basically pre-program the questions as to what are probably going to be asked. And you can even supply the answers via the chat, or you can provide the chat in real time, or you can obviously answer during the live feed if you're doing a live feed. So at the same time, if you want, you can automate it. Just like as I mentioned at the outset, you can automate it. So whatever questions that you might get, maybe in this case from, let's say Joe asks a question, somehow because of Ben's cool knowledge of AI, he can make it so there's an answer to a question that's provided. Now, there might be some mistakes. Let's also remember that, because it's AI. AI isn't in its completed phase yet. But it's very nice knowing that you don't even have to be there. Or at the same time, when I say that, you can have an uploaded video, audio and video, to the software. And again, there could be a bunch of automated responses, or there could be responses that are AI generated, right? Or meaning you don't even have to be there. In this case, you don't have to be there. If you upload a video in the chat, as Ben is going to outline, or I'm going to ask him to outline it, how somehow his magic will answer the questions. Whatever questions are asked will be answered. Now, you as let's say an entrepreneur, you don't even have to be there whatsoever. All you have to be is sitting back in your pajamas, as Ben and I always kid around, and you don't even have to be there. It's all automated. So, man, is that powerful. Or at the same time, let's just say you want to do a live video, a live feed. Well, you take down the video and you do a live feed right then and there, and still you can have the AI answer the questions, or you can answer the questions, or you can have an assistant answer the question. But to my point that I originally made, you as an entrepreneur don't have to be there for the webinar. The webinar can feed down, or as we call it, the VASTCAST. The feed can occur, meaning the video feed. All the leads are coming in because you've automated that. And the back end, he's going to show you the back end, but there's going to be elements of it that are automated. So you really don't have to do anything. You will have to set it up originally, or you can pay Ben and VastSolutionsGroup.com to do the initial setup. So you really don't have to do anything going forward. And then, man, what does that equate to? Well, bringing in leads, doing a presentation, you don't have to be there. Chat, you don't have to be there. The follow-up, you don't have to be there. And the AI automation down the road for onboarding. So meaning you have access to potentially new business without having to do any work other than the upfront video in your example, or your example, whatever the case is. So there's a lot of flexibility to this. So, and the nice thing is, it's not that expensive overall. Would you rather be doing presentations to, let's say, 10 clients a week, or would you rather do one presentation let's say at the beginning of the year, and then have everything automated thereafter. Anyway, Ben, go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much, Kenna. That's a pretty good example. Also to kind of further touch upon this. So what I did basically for you, right? So you provided the material, like the video material for your onboarding for vastsolutionsgroup.com. So that the entire video material that was already there. And so basically I could use this information, like this video material, and then automate it, like as you said already. So if someone is asking a question, and then based upon the intent of this question, an automatic response can be given based upon the pre-recorded video material. And also, as Ken said already, of course, and I can do this for you, of course, automate for you, like make it customized and to your specific needs. Yes, I can totally do this. Oh yeah, so let's continue then. So that was about the replay page. So the cool thing also about the VASTCAST, the software is when it comes to kind of notify people. So we have included a connection with Mailchimp, which is a software that is where you can essentially create email marketing campaigns. And so we created a connection with that software, with VASTCAST. So basically what this means is that you can set reminders here, like daily reminders or even hourly reminders that would basically trigger Mailchimp, and then people that would have signed up to your webinar, they would get reminded that it's due, basically, that the webinar is coming up shortly. And so that way, people that would sign up to your webinar, they would not just forget about it, which could happen like easily, right? But this way, they will be reminded all the time. And also, of course, once they have, seen the webinar and once they joined the webinar, thanks to Mailchimp, even after this, they get like further emails, confirmation emails that they have signed up, and even like feedback emails, like if they like the webinar or not. So there's something that is included as well. And here exactly, so here's the integration. So there's, besides the Mailchimp, is a Google Calendar integration as well. So if you wanna remind your audience about the upcoming webinar in their Google Calendars, this can be integrated. So this can be activated, and then they will be reminded in their Google Calendars. The Mailchimp thing, which is let's say the most important thing, I would say personally, when it comes about reminding people via email. So you can basically once once people sign up for your webinar to one of the links that you've created, you can basically register them through different groups. So let's say you call this group, so we've kind of defined this for ourselves. Let's call vastsolutionsgroup.com as a group from the Mailchimp campaign, and then you can put in some text there so that that Mailchimp has it sorted already. So let's say this would be for the introduction call, so as an example. So that way it's already tagged, and then every time someone is signing up for the webinar, this will trigger something in Mailchimp that is basically including the person that has signed up for the webinar. Will include this person into the Mailchimp group, and then you can create your campaigns within Mailchimp and then send out those automated emails. So this would be right. So for this example, this will be when someone is registering for the webinar. But then again, like I said, you can remind your audience like 2 days before the webinar starts, 1 day before the webinar starts, 3 hours before it starts, and so on, 30 minutes before it starts. And yeah, same thing when someone has attended the webinar, that they get reminded. And even like when they watch just part of the webinar already, that they get like automated emails from Mailchimp. And so yeah, it's just like some more customization options here, of course. Yeah. So even if someone has not attended the webinar, for example, they would get information by Mailchimp. And yeah, same thing like what Kenna was just talking about for the replay option. So this you can of course also automate with Mailchimp and remind your audience about that. And yeah, so let's see what kind of webhooks we have here. Okay. Oh yeah, so here, okay, for the webhooks, you can basically integrate other software also into the your webinars, basically. So just to give you an example, what we're doing right now with the VASTsolutionsgroup.com, we cooperate with LinkedIn actually, and so there's a software where you can create LinkedIn connections and then kind of redirect them to the VASTCAST software. So this is something you could put in there. And same for you, like if you have any, let's say, external software that you would use to create your leads and basically would help you with your automation, like this links you could put in there into the webbook section. And yeah, so what else do we have left? So yeah, of course, besides just talking to your audience, like either live or have your pre-record material, you could provide your audience, of course, also with a script they could read along, and which, by the way, would help a lot also when it comes to this automation section that Kenna was talking about. People asking questions in the chat box and then getting automated responses based upon the intent. The webinars help a lot with this, based upon the software that we use for the AI automation, which we could help you with also, customize it to your business. And then like finally, you could of course like share your webinar with any other people, and put in some more information in there. Yeah, some name and some URL, but they will get redirected to. So if you complete it, if we register this webinar, then you would see it here. It's being displayed in your main menu, so to say. And so, what you could do then is, share the links again. So you have all the specific links, the registration link, watch group link, replay link, control room link, and then one-click registration links also, of course, which are the most, let's say, convenient ones, I would say. And besides this, you can see the chat history, like what has been put into the chat box. You could also clone the webinar, just have the same information again and customize it accordingly. We could edit the text, and you can see the analytics. Like, let's say someone is leaving the webinar, or see the dropout times, or if someone's joining. So you have like some sort of, let's say, metrics where you can measure the success of your webinar. You can see how long people have watched it, like what was the actual traffic to your webinar, what's the conversion rate, of people coming into the webinar and then maybe clicking on any other links that you were providing. So this is basically it. You can of course delete it, which you probably not like to do, but these are the main functionalities about the VASTCAST software.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. By the way, just stop by VASTsolutionsgroup.com in the Contact Us section, which is above the fold. It's right really at the top of the page of our website. You can schedule a meeting with Ben or, with any of our teammates if we can help you, not only with tax or finance, but also now with software, VASTCAST software. Now, I'm going to ask Ben a few questions that I think help a little bit. So, Ben, you mentioned, our strategic alliance with LinkedIn. I think really what you meant was there's a software provider that we're basically kind of changing in a way, basically to act as a funnel, the top of the funnel in LinkedIn. Let's say, obviously there's more and more activity that's happening in LinkedIn. So really the goal is to try to get more leads from LinkedIn and then link it, meaning not only for us, for you out there, for the listeners and viewers, link it into our software, VASTCAST software, then utilize MailChimp, then down the road AI. So basically you're getting leads from hopefully, from LinkedIn. If you have any type of a following, we even have a connection with a group that can bring in leads to help you in that regard. But if you have an already existing funnel, makes it really nice. So listen to me here. The funnel is LinkedIn, goes down to VASTCAST, our software that Ben's provided you information on today. Then it goes to MailChimp, and then the follow-up, the onboarding, etc. So what are you having to do? I'll remind you, as a part of the software, you can upload a video. You don't have to be there. The chat, you don't have to be there for the chat because it's going to be automated if need be. So what does that mean? What's the equation? The equation is getting in leads from LinkedIn, and that's automated. Webhooks, because Ben mentioned webhooks, it's a way to connect software. It's going to connect to our software, VASTCAST. The webinar, well, you don't have to be there for the chat or the video, potentially. And then at the same time, MailChimp, and then the onboarding of AI. So truly, what does that mean? That means All you have to do is do the setup. Now, there's going to be some kinks, you know how technology is, but the nice thing is you really don't have to be present. Who knows if it's truly, if you really put it together, this is passive income, not recurring income, but passive income. It's passive new business. And if you onboard, let's say to, I don't know, to a software as an example, or whatever the case is, everything's automated and you don't have to do nearly as much as you did at the outset. Because now what you're probably doing is you're going through LinkedIn, making calls, making connections, connecting with people. And then you're meeting with 4, 5, 10 clients, let's say per week, or I should say prospects at this point. And then what are you going to do? Then you're going to onboard them. You might have a virtual assistant. You might have an assistant in the United States, right? Whatever the case is. And then you have to onboard them. So think about what this does, how efficient this makes you. Now, the question is, do you want to continue doing what you're doing, working hard, maybe spending time not with your family, or have it automated so it's, again, passive income? Now, that question's up to you. I don't know how to make the point any better than that, to say either would you rather continue to work hard, be away from your family, or would you rather be with your family because you're getting recurring or passive income from this funnel. And it's all based on the VASTCAST software. Now, please, the only way to really understand this is by going to our website at vastsolutionsgroup.com and playing with this yourself, really get an understanding of it. The buy-in's not that much, depends on your circumstance. You can get quoted from Ben. He will give you a very specific and customized quote, because you could, if you want, just want the VASTCAST software, and then you can tailor that. Or you can want the software that goes to LinkedIn, or you can want the integration with MailChimp, or you can want the integration with, the onboarding, whatever the case is. But get a hold of us at vastsolutionsgroup.com, where we'll give you some specifics, and really, hopefully, in an effort to allow you to spend more time at home, more fun time with your family. So this has been Kenner French. It's been a pleasure. Ben, I totally appreciate you showing, the people the software. And once again, Kenner French, I'm out.
Thank you very much. See you next time.
What'd you think?